Uh, Hi. Uh, we have the lab one. The task we have six tasks to complete. First task is to sort the order of the tuples which were given in the question, and the output is in such a way. So when coming to the code, the task one, we have taken the list where in which we have given the name of the student and subject and marks according to the given question, and we are iterating. We have created a empty dictionary and we are iterating the list, and for each iteration we are taking the John as in a dictionary as a keyword and then the values of physics and chemistry to append it. And if it's already exists, then it will append, or otherwise it will be added into a new form of dictionary. And when we are printing it, we have used the sorted function so that it will print according to the sorted. And when running the output, it says John physics science and Daniel. When it comes to the input, I have given Daniel science and Daniel history, so it will be stored as Daniel science and history. So I have used the sorted, so the output is changed to Daniel history and science. And coming to the second part, where to find the longest substring without repeating characters along with the length of the tuple. So coming to the code for the second one, so basically I've taken the input from the user and then iterating each and every character in the character in the string which I given, and then storing it into a temporary string where if it exists, then the temporary string length will be used to be added as a dictionary. So when the dictionary gets full as a maximum values, it will be iterated, and then with the maximum value as a dictionary will be appended to the list and will be printed the list one. So when you run the code, so each time for each character it will run the loop completely, and for each next character list it will run the loop. So it's asking me then to input the string. So as the given question, I'm inputting EW. Okay, EW. So output is WKE and KEW, and the maximum, it's printing 2 because the maximum substring length is 3. So we got 3 variables of maximum values. Coming to the third task, it's create any one of the following, which is airline booking reservation system or library management system. So we have done both actually. So when coming to the library management system, we have created a department, just a name in it, which department it is, and a book class. So it has a private variable of number of books, and the default constructor has name, department, and book number as a global one, and the owner. So who has the owner of the book? We have created another class person where the global variable is number of person, which will count the each and every person, the total persons count, and the default constructor has first name, last name, book list, and person ID or number of persons. So and we have a class called change info, which will have a first name and last name, and checkout book is a function with the book class. So it will check whether if the book has a owner or not, and also the book is already checked out or not. And if it's the book owner is equal to, if not 1, then it will say book is already checked out. And there's also the different class student, which is inherited from person. So it has its own all the characteristics from the person, so we are calling it using the super keyword. And there's also the same function is applied for the faculty, so it will be calling the super function of the person. And now this one will be also calling the department, so the faculty needs a department. So when you create books, you create first grade spelling English department, and you create the department, and then you create the books, and you create libraries with book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, which all the books you have created, because a library needs to have the books. And you create students with first name, last name, and you add the students to the class. And coming to the faculty, you can add, you need to add the faculty and the last name and the first name of the faculty to the staff person. So for each student ID, you are going to print each and every faculty ID. So, and then for one book, you are going to check out book one, book two. So if the faculty two wants to check out book one and student one also check out book one. So once the faculty one is checked out with book one, student one cannot check out the book two. So when you run the code, so you created it, and now we can see if the faculty student one ID one has checked out certain books, and student two has also cannot be checked out each and every book. So student ID two, when he tries to check out the first grade book, so the book says already checked out because I have been calling the student ID one checked out book one. So when coming to here, it will print each and every faculty in the staff and students. Coming to the second part of the third question, we have done the airline booking reservation too, which is right over here. So we have like created a class person which has name flight. So it will print the name of the flight which says upcoming flights detail reported. So it will print all the flight details, timings or whatever. And we have created a passenger class which has name and passport, and passenger details will print the name of the passenger and passport number. Coming to the pilot, it is inherited by the person and passenger, and it will take the name, salary of the uh, pilot, and also flight details saved there. So it has to be the pilot from the person or passenger. And flight is a class inherited from pilot, which has airport name and flight number, and defined with the superclass constructor. So when you pass the passenger, person, and a pilot, so you can see the input. When I pass passenger, it will says Vijugaja, and when I pass airport or the name of flight, it says India. When I pass passenger and it's his passport ID, so you can print both. And when I pass pilot as Lata and 8,000 as a salary, it will print them, and it will say which airport is also there. And then coming to the fourth task, uh, when coming to the fourth task, I don't think we have a time limit. Okay. Coming to the multi-regression, we need to find out RMSE score and ask R2 square score for a linear data and find a linear regression. So in the fourth one, we have taken the car sales. It's a non-numerical values, and then coming to here, we have non-numeric, and we have a core. We have loaded the data into data set and find out the correlation and performed all the EDA such as null, handling them, and then NaN values, dropping all the NaN values, and dumbifying the non-numeric values, and then going to build the linear regression. We have found out the linear regression with dropping all the values except the correlated values of top three. So and then we have found out we have evaluated our performance with the visualization of R square and RMSE. So when we run it, it says all the column infos, and then we can see the price memory in thousands as a correlation. We have taken the top four, and then these are the null counts which has been already handled, and finding out the RMS R square and RMSE. R square, the relation, and the RMSE, which is error between the predicted and actual values, is as low as can get is 0.2, and R square, the dependency between the dependent or non-dependent variables in the x and y axis, is 0.92, which is has to be high. So we got it. And